Alright, we want to translate triangle DOG by the rule x minus 5, y minus 3. Then the question is, are the two triangles congruent? Explain how you know using two different methods. So first, we can answer this question. One method would be to answer before we even do anything on the graph. Because a translation, we know, is a rigid motion. We're just taking a figure and sliding it to a new position on the graph. So a rigid motion, remember, rigid motions result in congruent figures. So our first answer here is yes, a translation is a rigid motion, and rigid motions result in congruent figures. So that's one way that we can answer the question, just by knowing that vocabulary word and knowing that a translation is a rigid motion, which means that it preserves congruence. Your original figure, so your pre-image, and your image are going to be congruent when they undergo a rigid motion. The next way to answer it, which we could do if we didn't quite remember what a translation was in that definition of rigid motion, is we can actually perform this translation. So we're going 5 units to the left and 3 units down. So from point O, I'm going to count over 5 and down 3. And then I'll put a point. This would be O prime. From point G, I'm going to count over 5 and down 3. This would be G prime. And then from point D, again, I'm going to count over 5 and down 3. Oops, I think I went too far. Over 5, down 3. And this would be D prime. Now we can connect those points to make a triangle. So I'm going to connect it in red because that's the color that I made my points with. Alright, and now we can actually count blocks. So in our original figure, segment OG is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. In our transform figure, so this is our pre-image, it's 4 units in the pre-image. In the image, O prime G prime is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Over here, back to the pre-image, DO is 1, 2, 3 units. D prime O prime is 3 units. And so, this is 4, this is 3. Using the Pythagorean theorem, we can figure out that this would be 5, and same here, this would be 5. So our figures did not change size. So when you actually do the translation, you can see that the triangles are the same size. They do not change size, they do not change shape, so they are